I wanted to dig into this zero trust stuff. I've been really excited to get your thoughts on this, right? So there's been a lot of talk in the industry about zero trust architectures. What recommendations do you have for InfoSec leaders everywhere on how we should be thinking about zero trust, and is it now? Like what's your take on that?
On a global level, zero trust is a philosophy that a lot of organizations need to figure out how to implement for themselves. And I'm really excited about the work that's really come as a result of the executive order that the Biden administration put out. As you look at the command media that has come from both NIST and CISA relative to zero trust architecture, it's really around, the human identity and then the device identity, and application workloads, networking, and data are those 5 pillars in the CISA maturity model. The work that you're doing is so important to be able to provide that underlying foundation. When you look at NIST Special Publication 207, which defines zero trust architecture, it talks about the importance of a public key infrastructure in a zero trust architecture. So, there is no better solution out there to be able to bind that public key infrastructure to the human identities, the device identities, the application workloads, the network infrastructure, than the Venafi solution. That's one reason why I think it's so important for us to really be having this dialogue and guiding organizations to create that foundation, understand the importance of the life cycle, and how that supports them on their zero trust journey.
I really appreciate that background and totally agree. From my perspective, I've been in cybersecurity for a long time in one form or another, right? And to see this framework really coming together and really nailing it down and taking it beyond just just kind of a buzzword into something that's real, and knowing that the work that we're doing in machine identity management is so fundamental, to getting InfoSec teams and organizations everywhere, towards that ultimate goal. I feel like I'm right square where I should have been. It's like two things converged all at once. So really excited about that. Do you have any other guidance for agencies, private sector clients that you could help to convey? Any last thoughts on what you would leave as parting words for them?
I think that every organization needs to take a step back and have a strategy for zero trust. Zero trust is complex, and it becomes infinitely more complex when you bring in all of the different technology stacks that you administer within your organization. And you really need to think about, how do you manage the machine identities of all of that infrastructure that you have? And so every organization needs to walk that process for themselves and figure out how to make those connections. And I know that, what you're doing with the Accelerator program can really help organizations in that strategy. So, I think that's kind of my parting thought is every organization should have a zero trust strategy. I think it needs to be bound to a public key infrastructure. And I think the Accelerator program is a great way to help organizations really bring that into fruition and drive a nice vision forward. So how do cybersecurity leaders find out more about the Venafi Accelerator program?
I think in general, if you're already a Venafi customer, which many organizations are, the easiest way is to reach out to your contacts, primarily your account executive at Venafi. They're all very well versed, and typically one of the very first steps we'll do is pull me in and we'll talk about what what those goals are, and make sure that that is a right fit. For customers completely outside of Venafi ecosystem today, it's easier than ever to get started and engage with Venafi. But ultimately, Venafi.com, there's a bunch of information out there. You can learn more and get in touch with us directly to start those conversations. I noticed that you're doing a fireside chat or something like that about hidden software in organizations at the customer summit early next month. So is there any deep, dark secrets you can share with us about that? Spoiler alert stuff?
I'll give you a little taste. The Venafi Customer Summit is coming up in October. Really excited to participate. I've got a great discussion with another CISO around this hidden software issue of the types of challenges we're dealing with open source, firmware, third-party code, SaaS solutions in your organizations, and what you need to consider from a security perspective on that, secure lifecycle development process for organizations. So I'm really excited about talking about the challenges that information security practices are having in that area. I've been doing a lot of work with financial institutions specifically in that space. I look forward to sharing some of those learnings. And then really, how do we bring machine identity management and code signing and some of those controls into the mix to provide a greater level of assurance that those business processes have integrity. And so, really excited about that opportunity.
It's always amazing how you peel back enough layers and you're going to find, machine identity work going on underneath the hood. So
I think the Accelerator program is a great value for organizations and really complements that strategy to deliver the ability to prevent outages in a better way, really look at those financial benefits. And, something that I'm passionate about is just making sure that, your certificate management lifecycle is managed in a very disciplined, automated way for your organization. So, congratulations on your new promotion and this great new program.
Still have questions? Turn to Venafi, the machine identity experts. Check out our channel or visit Venafi.com to learn about all things encryption, certificate management, and more.